Started with nothing, we turned into something.
Here we go again.
We are the voices, they gave us no choices, you know how we coming. We paved the way for tens and thousands, helping our citizens. They hit us with fines and fears, but they cannot stop the vision.
What?
We on a mission. Just follow the clemency.
Yeah.
Committed to ending discrimination for
All of the nation.
And we just made history.
Yep, we just made history. Passed Amendment 4.
Now you see we are the voices.
FRRC.
We the leaders of the new school.
Let my people vote.
You know that we are the voices.
Yo, what's up, everybody? What's happening? Welcome to the Our Voice podcast again. I am Desmond Meade, Executive Director of Florida Rights Restoration Coalition, and directly across from me is...
I'm Neil Volz, Deputy Director of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. What's up, y'all?
What's happening? As always, we talk about Our Voice podcast. It's a podcast for who? For people like me, Neil, so many others that's been impacted by the justice system, that even though other folks may have all kinds of degrees and stuff on their wall, guess what? We are coming to this conversation as subject matter experts, and we have some things. Boy, don't we have some things to say?
We got some things to talk about.
We got some things to talk about, and that our voices are relevant, and this is a platform to really elevate the voices of impacted people, not only in the state of Florida, but across the country.
No, that's right. Yeah. I mean, you see the emails, get the text messages coming in. Man, it's great to know that there's a community that's kind of rallying behind this podcast, man.
Yeah, man. And, this is, I think, when to think about that, we started this podcast last year, and here we are rolling into our, I think, second year now?
Yep.
Second season? What season?
Second season. We're second season
we're
too.
Rolling into the second season. And just thinking about, about where we came from, right? And we're going to get into that later on. But, yeah, just thinking about where we came from to be right here in this podcast room, right, talking to so many folks about our issues, and it took a while to get here. It was a journey to get here, but we're here.
Man,
it's
all
amazing.
The memories keep coming back. Me with Ben and Jerry, Anquan Bold, Marcus. We had so many returning citizen leaders.
But hold up, time out now. I just need to know, what is that you have on your head, man?
I got my Let My People Vote hat on, man.
Okay. I love it. That looks more like a dolphin hat to me.
Do I have my dolphin hat?
You got the dolphin
what's up, y'all? I am wearing a dolphin hat today. That's bad. Thank you for pointing it out. I literally have my Let My People Vote hat in my car. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus. I'm like, okay, he rocking a dolphin hat.
Hey, man, NFL's getting ready to start.
Yeah, man, it's just weird looking at a Buckeye fan rock a dolphin hat. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What's up with that?
I think the Dolphins are going to be all right this year.
Okay, all right. You got any players from Ohio State on the squad starting?
They do, man.
Yep.
Josh Perry, starting linebacker. Yeah.
Jesus. Well, I don't know how many tackles he's gonna get this. Because he's from Ohio State, so we'll see how that play out, right?
That's
this year. But no, man. How you been, bro?
I've been really good. I've been good. I've been thinking about this podcast. I've been thinking about this moment, right? Because here we are. We're actually getting ready, for the convening. And we're going to be bringing hundreds of returning citizens together and talking about our 10-year anniversary.
And here's another exciting thing, right? At the convening is going to be our first, what they call that stuff? What they call it, live feed podcast show, right? And y'all, listen, first time ever we going out into the community with the podcast show, and we're going to be interviewing some great folks. I think that's going to be also exciting as well. You
don't want to miss this one.
Yeah, you definitely don't. But this convening, what's up with it, man? Talk to me.
For me, man, the convening at the heartbeat of the whole thing is just this idea of empowerment. This idea that, if we get folks together and we get behind this vision that we can actually create a better society for everybody by, helping folks like ourselves who've been through the system. I'm just excited because we got leaders who are showing up. We got folks from across the nation and the state, allies, people we work with. But really, I'm excited about seeing returning citizens just dig in, man, and being like, oh, I can go home and do some damage here.
Well, let me tell you, I got to claim the fame, Neil. I'm going to let you be the interviewer on this piece right here, man.
Claim to fame.
My claim to fame is that there's no one in this entire planet that has been to as many FRRC convenings than moi.
Oh, and it's not even close, man. There's the gold medal, there's the platinum medal. Yeah, and listen, I think you got both of them.
I got the gold star for attendance. Right? Yeah, man. I'm going back to like 2007.
Come on.
So
what was that one like, man? Let's jump into this. 2007. Man, that's feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, 2007. I just joined the organization that was part of the coalition, and I was invited to go to a convening in Tampa, Florida, at Stetson Law School. And I mean, I'm like wet behind the ears, the whole 9 yards, and that was where I first found out about felon disenfranchisement.
Man, that feels like so. Governor Christ, right? So is that the time period?
Yeah,
and we got Governor
I think
Christ,
he was governor at the time.
Republican Governor Christ at the time. Whew.
And I just found out about felon disenfranchisement, and you know, I didn't know what to expect attending the conference. But let me tell you what happened. I got plugged in, right? And so I think first thing off the bat, you know, our 10-year anniversary conference is coming up in a few days, right? And really encouraging folks, man, that if you haven't like registered, make sure you register, right? Because lesson number one here, true life story, right? I am where I'm at today, right? And that's partially because I got plugged in at my first FRRC conference.
And when you had a chance to attend, you said yes.
I said yes.
Right? So sitting there, you're like, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to go take part in this, even if I don't know what to expect.
Didn't know what to expect, and I got plugged in. As a matter of fact, I remember one of the key things was that they needed a secretary, steering committee secretary, to take notes. And some lady who I don't even know me, was like, I think this young man here would be a good candidate. And nobody else like stood up and said no, they wanted to do it. And so I ended up becoming the steering committee secretary.
So you were voluntold to be the secretary, and things changed from that, man.
It was like a drastic change there. Got to learn more about felon disenfranchisement, got to learn more about things that organizations and people were doing, not only across the state, but across this country, right? And so I learned so much, man. I sat at the feet of some of the leading pioneers on this issue and so many organizations that were a part of it. And that was my entryway that led me to being a member of FRRC and eventually incorporating it, right, and being its founding president. And fast forward to now, here we are. And so that was, and I've seen over the years at each of the convenings, there's always a handful of people that come to the convening, and that's where that moment happens for them. And they get plugged into the work, and they just take off. You know, I mean, people like Angel, Davion, Marquise, right. Coming to a convening really gives you an opportunity to be exposed to so much things, right? So many things, and it creates a likelihood of you finding that niche, that thing that you're searching for to champion or to commit to, and that is like the start of a journey that take you to the highest of highs.
Yeah, I know from my experience with convenings, it fueled me, right? So it was also...
Wait, what was your first convening?
2017 was my first.
Wow.
So, man, you got me by 10 years.
Yes.
Man. Yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit of a grizzly veteran at this point, but not compared to you, man. But not only, like, it fired me up, but it also gave me a bridge to the next step. Like you said, so I got plugged in, but it was also just seeing what's possible and that I wasn't alone. All of a sudden I'm thinking about the Angels, the Davions, the Marquise, everyone you're talking about, and watching them flourish after convening opportunities presented themselves. Same thing, right?
So you didn't feel like you was alone.
That's right.
Wow. See, that's reason number 2. Sign up for the convening, because you get to be around people who, have walked a mile in your shoes, have experienced some of the things that you've experienced, may have some of the same desires that you may have, whether it's a better life, to be able to vote, to have a better career,
just to be a part of a mission that has meaning in your life and purpose,
And there are going to be so many people from around the state that is going to be bringing their authentic selves to this convening, and it's so many opportunities to connect with people that you've never met before. Some might not look like you, some might not think like you, may have the same preferences as you, but there's going to be that connection, that human connection and the issue connection, because no matter where you all came from in the state, that there's some just common things that you all can relate to.
And you know what else we're going to be doing?
What's up?
We're going to be partying.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, not partying. I don't want to get people into the but
Oh, no, we throwing down.
DJs,
man, listen.
Man, come on.
We throwing down, man. Listen, let me tell you something. I pulled the rabbit out of the hat with this one, bro.
Yeah, you did. We have
secure, so guess who's DJing our party?
You want me just to say it?
No, you're supposed to guess.
So
you gotta act like you don't know.
I don't know. Oh, all right. Wavy Mob?
No, Wavy Mob better be in the house.
I hope he's in the house,
convening,
man.
right?
Right. He's
The creator of our theme song. Shout out to you, Wavy Mob. But no, man, we got this DJ. Now let me tell you who he DJs for. He DJs for DJ Khaled.
Oh.
He DJs for Rick Ross.
Come on.
I'm just trying to tell you, among other folks. I mean,
so the DJ at the convening
names
DJs for Rick Ross.
Yes,
DJ Khaled.
His name DJ Nasty, and he has agreed. He's a supporter of the work, and he's agreed to DJ our party.
Oh, you did pull a rabbit out of the hat, man.
And then the icing on the cake is that our MC. Man, is like one of the baddest radio personalities in the entire state of Florida, right? I mean, this woman got it going on, right? Her name is Super Cindy.
The Super Cindy. Super Cindy, we're excited,
The Super Cindy that went with when we did GOTV in South Florida.
Yep.
That was on the bus.
Yep.
Right? That's the same
one. We've been to
one.
her show, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So that's what we got for our party, man.
All right,
so it's going down, y'all. Listen, DJ Nasty, Super Cindy. You got DJ Nasty on the ones and twos. That's how you say it. Super Cindy on the mic, and then we got a whole lot of other surprises throughout the night.
We can't say everything right now.
We ain't saying everything, man. Y'all better sign up. Make sure you got your tickets, right? Because it's going to be a special, special night. One that you will never forget. Promise you. You will never forget that celebration night, our 10-year anniversary celebration.
Now that's
in
right.
the middle of our convening.
You can get plugged in, you can find purpose, and we're going to party. You want to be there.
We're going to party.
So let's talk about, you talk about 2007, right? I'm going to interview.
Go ahead.
This is weird because some of these early convenings, I wasn't there. So I'm curious, like what about when we look back, not necessarily just at the convenings, but some of these big moments in the history of FRRC?
Well, I mean, excuse me, but all right, so listen, I'm going to be a bad interviewee, right?
You guys see
Hello,
this?
Yep,
you
listen.
guys see this?
Listen, ZB Productions. Shout out to ZB Productions.
What's up, ZB Productions?
Putting on another good show right here. Our production crew, doing what they do. But I know ZB Productions already know where I was going with this. I want to...
ZB in the know, man.
Yeah. So there is... One of the things that we're going to be doing at the 10-year anniversary is really highlighting a lot of the big... moments of FRRC, from the time that it was launched in 2012 and all the way up to now. So talking about Amendment 4 and other great things that we've done. But before I get there, I really would like to talk about just the convenings, right? Because there were we talked about the first convening that I attended, but let me tell you, we had some other memorable convenings. Right, I remember we had one convening, and I think it was the second convening I went to, where we actually had members of people who was running for office on the clemency board actually come to do a panel discussion and actually came for a forum, right? A candidate forum. And I remember we had folks that was running for Attorney General. We had folks that was running for agriculture. You know what I'm saying? We had folks that was running for CFO that actually came to our convening to address our members. And that was huge for a person like me that was new in the game to see that these people were there. I mean, one of them, I remember one of the candidates was the gentleman now that he is the current state attorney for West Palm Beach.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we had another person that was a former state senator, you know, that was running for AG at the time, and you know, we came in and we were able to, ask them all kinds of questions about what their stances are in as it relates to clemency, right, among other issues. And so
this is early, right? Because
Yeah.
just so that everybody kind of has the frame, right? So you talked about 2007. So in 2007, Governor Christ and the Clemency Board make new changes to help hundreds of thousands of people ultimately get their voting rights restored or their civil rights restored, right? And then 4 years later, 2011, new governor comes in, new clemency board, and gets rid of those and implements a 5 and a 7 year waiting period, which basically makes it a 15 to 20 year wait before somebody can even be heard, right? The system just broke. So in that context, though, you're having conversations with
And then here's the thing, right? In the early convenings, we actually had the Clemency Board or the Parole Commission, which is now the Office of Offender Review. We actually had those officials at our convening giving workshops on how to apply to get your civil rights restored, right? And so, just for our viewers, that you have the Clemency Board, right, that make up the rules, and then you have the Office of Offender Review, which was at the time the Parole Commission, that actually implement the rules that the Clemency Board makes up. So it's the Parole Commission that operationalize everything.
So they do the research.
They do the research. They're the ones that do the investigations. They're the ones that issue the certificates, the whole 9 yards. Right. The main thing that the Clemency Board do, which is the governor and his cabinet, is actually come up with the policies or the rules for clemency, and then the Clemency Board or the Office of Offender Review, they're the ones that actually administer that policy. And so they used to attend our convenings, because around during those years, FRRC was holding workshops throughout the entire state of Florida. As a matter of fact, in 4 years, it was over 155,000 people that was able to get their civil rights restored. So coming out of convenings, we had people who were attending and getting charged up. And coming out of those convenings, man, they were out there in the community doing things to help returning citizens be able to get their rights restored. All right? And it's the same kind of concept that we're looking forward in this 10-year anniversary, right? Because we're going to celebrate. But coming out of this 10-year anniversary, we're looking for folks to be fired up and to be going back home into their communities and engaging in things that would improve the lives of returning citizens. That's been a reoccurring theme for every convening.
So really,
coming out of it.
It's people coming in, right, learning, getting plugged in, getting fired up, going home and owning it. Right. And then making change, because look at over the last 10 years, so much has happened in part because people got plugged in at the convenings. That's right. And then went into the community. So
that's number 3 then, right? So we got, what was number 1
Plugged
again?
in was 1.
Yeah, you get plugged in was 1. Number 2 was your thing. You got to meet people just like you, right? So you're going to get to meet people like you. And number 3 is that you're going to get the tools and get energized to actually go back into your community to actually make a difference in people's lives, right? And so, and then the last thing I'll say is that in one of the convenings, we actually had wait a minute. Yeah, man, listen, one of our convenings, we had The Rock, right? And not Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but Charles Dutton, who played Rock on the sitcom. He was our special guest at the convening.
I love it.
And then another time we had Vivica Fox.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was a big time convening there. And so, we get a bunch of different flavors, man, but I think overall theme has always been the same. And how do we bring people together, right, from all walks of life, people who've been impacted, right? And how do we engage them in such a way into the convening where these folks are getting connected with other people throughout the state, right? Getting plugged in and getting the tools and the motivation to leave out of that convening, impacting people, man. Y'all need to really be a part of this, man. Listen, if you're a returning citizen living in the state of Florida, right, and you have not yet registered for our 10th anniversary convening, don't hesitate, man. What's the hold up? What's the hold up? Man, make this thing happen. Click on whatever link. I know it's a link somewhere below there somewhere. I can't see it, but I know it's there. Click on that link or go to our Facebook page or go to our website. Make sure that you register today, right? Because maybe we got I think 2 days left before registration ends. Make sure you guys go and register. You don't want to miss this, man. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, you do not want to miss this. Let me just be super, super frank. The best time to get plugged into FRRC is right now. Right now, there's so many opportunities in our local communities to make a difference in people's lives. And it just requires those 3 things Desmond was just talking about, right? Get plugged in, connect with people and purpose. And then, we're going to party a little bit, but also we're going to make sure that you get equipped so you can have the kind of impact that you want.
Yep. And we got a lot to celebrate, man. There's, I know we can share a couple of things that we were able to accomplish. Everybody know about Amendment 4, right? We led the effort to pass Amendment 4 that really cleared the pathway for 1.4 million returning citizens.
Let me just go back real quick, because you're right. Everybody knows about Amendment 4, right? Especially those of us impacted all across the state. It's really impacted our lives, man. Your leadership has changed the state, Des. But I'm thinking about the moment before that, because I remember being with you when we found out that we had gotten enough certified petitions.
Oh, wow.
Right? I remember you jumping on Facebook Live. Y'all remember? Man, it was it. We all communicate different. It's we're going live right now. And you just, man, let us have it. It was awesome.
If I'm not mistaken, right, that was on National Weed Day.
That's right. That
was on National Weed Day, bro. So that was a great time to get high without being high, right? And listen, that was a surreal moment. Man, I was getting ready to go into a meeting.
Yep.
And got the news, man. It was wow. I still can't fully describe how I felt, but what I did know, man, it was very emotional. Because especially when that's another reason why this 10-year anniversary is so special, because thinking about where we came from. Right? When you think about when we started and we didn't have nothing, right? Literally, we didn't have nothing, right? When we incorporated, we didn't have a thing, a penny to our name, right?
Think about those early petition collections, right? You go to a P.O. box, it comes to your mother-in-law's apartment, right? House and living room. And that is... that's where change really starts, right? It's with passionate people who are, But I remember that day too, because it
was a journey, man.
It was collect over 1 million petitions.
1 million,
and we have people, families all over the state, man, just sending them in.
And when they said certified, you now have a ballot position in your ballot position number 4, and that's where we became Amendment 4.
That's right. Up until that point, we didn't use that phrase, but now there've been Amendment 4s. We're like, no.
But that ain't this is the Amendment 4.
We all know that.
Yeah, everybody know that, man. But that was definitely one of the moments, and we're gonna, moments like this and others is something that we're going to be highlighting during our convening, and really just celebrating the fact, of the journey. One thing I always hear is that the journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. And then the other thing that I always hear is that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
That's right.
Right. And we've been on a very special journey Many of you all have been on for quite some time. Some of you all have just gotten on, and then there's those of you all who've never been yet. And we're inviting you to come on, get on the train, right, and be a part of this journey, because it has been a special journey, and we're going to be highlighting how special that journey is.
No, that's right, man. I got to tell you, too, because I know that there's going to be somebody who's going to take that first step. Mm-hmm. Right? This is going to be the convening that was their first step. Yep. And I look all over the state, right? Like, if you look at all the stuff that's going on right now, right, man, Orlando and Orange County and Broward and Tampa and Gainesville, man, we're even trying to work with the mayor of Fort Myers, right, on Band of Box and second chance employment stuff. And that's with people who live in those communities who said yes to the convening, who said, yes, I want to get plugged into FRRC. And then suddenly it's like, man, you're on this journey. Right? And you're changing things and
so it's a springboard then.
That's what it is, yeah.
All right. The convening can be a springboard.
Yes.
Okay.
Come to the springboard, y'all.
Cool. What other stuff you got?
Well, I mean, look, I think people want to hear probably from your perspective, man. What was it like on November 2018 when Amendment 4 passed,
Jesus,
man? Right?
Man.
I mean, we got the pictures around here. You know, I get to be the one asking the questions, so that's fun, because that was an overwhelming night, man.
Neil is trying to make me cry, y'all. And listen, I am not crying. Not right now.
He's gonna cry.
No, I'll cry at the convening. If you want me to cry, come see me cry at the convening. That's right. That's when I'm gonna shed my tears. But nah, man, Neil, for real. Man, one of the things was where you was jumping. You know, listen, you Slim Shady now, but you wasn't that slim back in 2018. And I know I definitely wasn't slim. And we were both on that stage jumping and hopping around. That's right. And I was like, man, I hope this stage gonna hold us. Because it was a huge celebration, because we invited everybody to get on stage, all the returning citizens.
That's right. I remember that. Yes, on four.
Yeah, yes. And we were just hopping around, and the stage was bouncing and all that. And then I look out and I see this gentleman, right? And I always say Mr. Charles. And I remember in 2016, taking him or walking with him to the polls. He drove, I walked next to his car, and he thought he could vote. I thought he could vote, and then he ended up finding out he couldn't vote. And that was a very painful experience for me, because he reminded me of my dad, and I thought, man, this dude is going to die before he get to vote again, right? And there was a graveyard right next to the polling location. And I just thought, yeah, man.
And this was in Tampa, right?
This was in Tampa, and I just knew that he was going to die before he get to actually vote again. And you know what? You know why he couldn't vote? 8 years prior to 2016, right, he was convicted of driving with a suspended license. That's what it was. Driving with a suspended license. And this dude was barred from voting.
And he thinks he can vote. And then you're looking at him like, oh my goodness, you might never be able to vote.
And I'm looking at
the system is just so broken, man.
And so, you know, I remember, as a matter of fact, that day Marquise was with me. And I remember crying and telling Marquise, man, we got to fix this, man. This guy dies without voting again unless we win Amendment 4. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't know who invited this guy, but I looked out and there he was, man. You know, tears in his eyes, happy, you know. And then I remember I went and I hugged him, and all he was saying was, man, I can vote now, I can vote now. And yeah, that just sticks out to me, you know, other than worrying about whether or not you were going to collapse the stage. But just this guy, man, just being able to vote, man. I hope he comes to the convening. Mr. Charles, you need to come to convening.
Come on, Mr. Charles.
We need to maybe ZB Productions could make that happen. I mean, they were able to pull all kinds of rabbits out the hat for the past year.
They keep the expectations keep going up. I don't see why it shouldn't keep going.
Maybe they can track Mr. Charles down and see if he can come to the convening, because it'll be great to have him there.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have special guests, man. Special guests that played key roles in different parts of our trajectory and in different moments that we've had. They're going to be people who have moved on and are doing other things in life that they can't help but to be back, be part of this thing, because you know, at the end of the day,
they're part of the family.
They're part of the family, you know. They're part of the family, and so yeah, that was a good moment though.
Yeah,
2018.
I remember those big screen TVs all of a sudden flashing, right? Like
Amendment
4 passes, and you're like,
oh Jesus,
am I dreaming?
Woo! I'm gonna have to go back and look at that video now, man.
That's right. Of course, I got the news article staring at me right now, man. That's good stuff,
man. Yeah, that was So it would be great to highlight that too during the convening. Yeah.
So then, what about like you? And I'll say for me too. Like I remember then, right? Like just kind of being overwhelmed that the language was going to be written into the Florida Constitution, right? And then suddenly, January of 2019. We're all able to go register to vote. Yeah. Right? And people in all 67 counties, returning citizens showed up in force. People didn't know what to do with us.
We took over the state, bro.
Totally.
Let me tell you, for real. Because that, and ironic part of that was the same day that Governor DeSantis was sworn into office.
That's right.
And our news overwhelmed that.
That's right. Yeah, remember, we got a phone call. I still don't even know how they got my number. Remember, all of a sudden the Senate president is calling FRRC, and you're like, all right, Neil, you got to go up there and talk to like, and it was the beginning of the next journey, obviously. But, man, what a day, because it was all the text messages, the news stories, just seeing people show up all over the state. Man, like, I'm ready.
That was a celebration of love, man.
That was.
Because we always talk about how love won the day, in November. And then, the next phase of that was that love showing up, right, at the supervisor of elections office. Folks with their loved ones,
That's right.
The supervisor of elections, putting out balloons and a red carpet.
That was our supervisor handing out flags, hugging us.
Confetti all up in the air and stuff like that. It was a huge celebration, a big outpouring of love because the people who loved us voted for us to be able to get our voting rights back, right? And we were able to go with them when we registered to vote for the first time.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
Yep. So I know we're going to be talking about that too.
Yeah. Yep. It's fun to just see the list, right, of kind of these moments in time, right? Because then obviously then we all spent weeks up in Tallahassee and saw the implementation bill that ended up saying that people with fines and fees, got to pay their financial obligations before they're eligible to vote. And that really,
Well, let me ask you a question there. Seriously, what, you've been with FRC for quite a number of years now, right? What is the moment that sticks out to you?
Ooh, the moment that sticks out to me.
A moment.
A moment. All right, a moment, right? So not the moment, but a moment. The one that popped in my head. I remember Advocacy Day in 2020. 2019. Because 2020 was the pandemic. So 2019. So we ended up going up to Tallahassee with, I think, 600 or 700 returning citizens. And we were able to put on the agenda civil rights reform through the Clemency Board. Right? Like we had ideas on how we could do this better. And we met with all of them, the governor's team, AG, all that stuff. And we have 700 folks, and we're everywhere. And I just remember walking out those steps like, man, they might do this. And they might do it because of all these 700 people and all our family members back home, they're listening. And you could see like the vision begin to take life, right? In that moment where you're like, hey, we can change things. That day, I remember that the governor's news conference, that he got asked a question about our issues. And I was like, man, getting your voice back has a tangible impact. Like if you don't have a voice, man, they ain't going to listen to you. Now we got a voice, and they're starting to listen to us. It's more complicated than that, obviously. But you asked me for one day. I remember that day being like, oh, man, when this thing's churning the way like that and people are really engaged, you can make change.
Well, let me tell you, so when you was talking, what the image that came in my mind was a convening that we had, right? And we did it in partnership with Faith in Florida, right? Which is a faith-based, advocacy organization. And we had a convening in Orlando, but on one of the days we took buses to Tampa, right? You're gonna love this story. But we're with a bunch of faith leaders now, right? And we took a few buses to Tampa to march in Tampa. And you know where we went? We went to the Attorney General's office in Tampa, right? And so we got off the buses and we all got in a line like 2 by 2, right? And we had the bandanas over our mouth, and we was marching in silence, and we went into the office. And the Attorney General office was probably like on the 4th floor. And when we went to the Attorney General office, they were like, no, y'all can't be coming here. It's just too many of y'all, right? And so what we ended up finding out that we had a wide open space on the 5th floor. And so what we did was that's where we congregated on the 5th floor. And, we did like a program. But the highlight of it was that we was on the 5th floor, and faith leaders decided that they were going to pray. And so they were literally praying over the head of the Attorney General.
Who was on the 4th floor.
Yes. And when we took some leaders down there to the 4th floor and prayed again at the door of the Attorney General office, and some folks were able to share their testimony. But it was a powerful experience, man. When you talk about getting people of various faith that came together, and they was like, they was like surrounding the returning citizens and saying that you all are, our brothers, our sisters, our sons, our daughters, and as people of faith, we got your back, right? It was a beautiful, powerful experience. And guess what? It set the tone for what we've seen in the faith community for Amendment 4.
I was just
right when we had the largest organizing of churches. We had the Jewish synagogue, we had the Islamic mosque, we had white conservative church, we had Latino evangelicals, we had the African American church community
out in force.
Yeah, man. We had everybody, and I think it was 827 different congregations of multiple faith that came together under the banner of Let My People Vote. And they did some act or another, or engage in some type of action to help support Amendment 4. And that, I think, started from the one convening where they joined us and we marched on the Attorney General's office.
Prayer moves the world, man.
I just remember that. I had totally forgot about that.
Well, and then I think about the moment in between that, right? Think about the convening. So it was 2018 convening. We had the Faith Forum. And like you said, right here, we're doing what we do, which is we had candidate for governor, candidates for attorney or for agriculture, AG, both parties. And we were at a church, and hundreds of people. And
that was over 700 people there.
Yeah. And it was
a little bit more.
Yeah, and it was in English and Spanish.
Yeah.
And it was powerful.
It definitely was more. You know how I know? Because if I'm not mistaken, we had 25 buses there.
Oh yeah,
25 buses.
And they had a big auditorium, man. And I remember, so the Christian Coalition was there, the Koch folks were there, Prison Fellowship was there. I remember the conversations with talking to folks.
And that was at El Calvario.
Yeah, El Calvario,
yep.
And literally, in this little kind of gaggle afterwards of the folks who were participating, I remember some of those folks saying, this thing's going to pass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, man, this thing's happening. Yeah.
When
you see the
huge.
faith community come alongside returning citizens and people impacted by the system, and man, yeah, you're right. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that was 2018. Yep. That was there's a lot, man. There's just so much stuff, so many memories that's embedded into the 10 years that FRC has been officially incorporated, bro. There's a lot that happened even prior to that as well, and I know we're going to be talking about that too at the convening. But for the 10 years of incorporation, there's a lot of memories embedded in this organization, man. We have, I would say, a very rich history.
That's right. I keep in my head, man. I just keep seeing faces of people, some who stay plugged in, other people, like you said, they move on and they got some opportunities, and there's always FRRC family, and they're doing their thing, and they'll show up at the convenings, big family outing,
Speaking of family, guess what? In conjunction with FRC's 10 10-year anniversary. Guess what? It's also the 10-year anniversary of my marriage to Sheena.
Come on now.
Yeah, we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year as well. So it's like
happy anniversary, Sheena.
So like we're like intimately connected, right? First lady of FRRC, what's up? You know, but it's like we're intimately connected. You know, and it really is. When we started FRRC, I mean, and even to this day, man, we still look at people like family.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And
we say it, FRRC family. What's up, man?
So it's like a family thing, right? And so it's just, I don't know, coincidental or what, or just poetic, you know, justice, or no, not justice, but just it being poetic that that the time of FRC's existence is also the time of the marriage, my marriage, you know. And so, yeah, there's a lot of celebration I got to be engaged in this year.
You need to rest before the convening. I know, just right? So you can be ready for all this,
We got the convening, they got wedding anniversary. I mean, so, yeah, it's a lot. But I'm super excited about the FRC convening, man. I'll be honest with you.
I'm really excited.
Yep.
I can't wait to see y'all there.
But I'm
Sign
excited.
up. Yeah.
Man, listen. Y'all, please help my heart, man. I'm worried about who's coming. And listen, come. Make sure you show. Matter of fact, let's sell all this stuff out. Let's pack the place so we can have a lot of fun, meet a lot of people, right? Do a lot of cool things. We are gonna. Matter of fact, we are at the convening. We are going to actually do some canvassing too as well.
No, that's right. Phone banking, canvassing,
texting program.
That's right.
Listen, we're
talking about some issues, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna get some real life engagement, you know, real time training and stuff like that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think people are gonna walk out of there so empowered, so fired up. You know, I mean, it's FRC convening, right? That's what we do.
That's right.
Come to the family reunion, y'all.
Yes. Oh, that's what it is. 10-year FRC family reunion. If you've ever had anything to do with FRC, man, show up.
You know you got a shirt. You know you got a shirt.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on. You're going to have all kinds of shirts.
Wear your
and all
FRC shirt.
Because we got some shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're not on the list, but all the different shirts, all the different events.
Yeah, well, you can't give everything away.
Oh,
you know
man. All right. I'm overhyping.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, man, you know, Neil, it's hard for Neil to even hold water. So even the staff has made sure that they didn't tell Neil everything because they knew he was coming on the podcast and they were scared he was going to just blurt it all out.
True facts.
Right. And then they came to me and asked me to watch Neil, so I'm watching you, make sure he don't tell everything.
I feel like you just pulled me in. Right? The guardrail was there.
Yeah,
you're like,
I mean, he's about to just reveal everything. Listen, we won't have any more surprises at the convening for him.
That's right. Yeah, let me surprise you. You're going to have some surprises.
There you go. As long as we can keep Neil quiet, right? You're going to have some surprises. But yeah, we're going to I was about to almost slip and say something.
That would have been poetic.
Oh,
Speaking
Jesus.
of poetic.
Man, I would have been in big trouble, bro. Big trouble. I'm supposed to be watching you. But who's watching me? But no, seriously, there are some things, actually quite a few things, man, that we really want to surprise people with, you know, and to help add to the experience, you know. Every convening that we've had has always been special, always have touched people in very profound ways. And I don't look for this convening to be any different than that.
No, that's right.
Yeah, people are gonna be, they're gonna walk away with a good experience.
Right. I think that there's gonna be so many people who are gonna be able to look back on their lives and be like, oh man, that 2022 FRRC convening, that was the moment. That was, you know, I something happened and I took a step and then whatever played out. Right.
Yep.
Because we've seen it. Right, there's so many of us.
Most
definitely. And it's just like, man, that convening experience really isn't like anything else.
Yep.
Like it is a party, but it's also like you're gonna walk home empowered.
And then we got to make sure we do this thing right too, man. Because with COVID pandemic, man, we were denied about at least 2 convenings. You know, 3 convenings, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and so it's been a few years since we were able to bring people together for a convening. And this is our first convening since the COVID pandemic hit. You know, which let me tell you, we're gonna have all kinds of protocols in place, so you don't have to worry about it. We're gonna make sure that people are safe, and we're gonna be able to party safe. But yeah, this is our first time coming together after the COVID hiatus.
That's right.
So some things are gonna be off the chain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's almost like the slingshot's been pulled back a little bit. We're ready to let it go.
But I think one of the things that I think we can reveal is that, and I'm kind of excited about, is that we got our old partner, a good friend of ours, Marcus Bullock, coming down. Marcus Bullock coming down, and he's bringing the whole setup for the Flick Shop booth, where people right there on the spot is going to be able to send postcards to loved ones that's incarcerated. Be able to do some videos and stuff like that, to share their stories, and people are going to be getting free credits, right, to be able to communicate with people, loved ones who are incarcerated, the whole 9 yards, man. He bringing the whole setup.
If you're wondering who Marcus Bullock is, we know who Marcus because he's a great friend. Flick Shop is amazing. It connects loved ones with each other. But go check out our podcast from last year. We had Marcus on. He shared everything about Flick Shop. Yeah,
Marcus, if you're looking at this, man, hey, I done hyped it up, bro. You bring it. You got to bring it, okay? Make sure you bring it. But he does everywhere he goes.
Everywhere he goes.
And very exciting speaker. He's going to be on some panels for us, as well as operating this special booth, man. That really helps people connect, man. So I'm kind of like looking forward to that too.
Okay, FRRC Steph, you saw that, right? I did not share that. That was actually shared by Desmond.
Yeah, that was cleared, Neil.
It was cleared.
It was cleared by the staff. I had permission to talk about Marcus Bullock.
Okay, all right.
All right. But there's something else about him that I'm not saying, right? Because that is the secret.
That's right. Yeah, right? We need to have surprises.
Okay. Yep. So what else you got for me, Neil?
No, I think, man, we were supposed to hype this thing up, and then we did so in a way that was really touching, man.
Yeah, let me tell you something. It was easy to do that, man, because, and listen, at the end of the day, man, it ain't no party like a FRC convening party. Because the FRC convening party just won't stop, just won't quit.
You come on, y'all.
Y'all got to come, right? Our 10th anniversary convening celebration in Orlando, Florida. You cannot miss it. Tickets are getting ready to stop. They're getting ready, they're about to end sales of the tickets. Make sure you sign up today. Don't delay. Sign up today. Tickets are going to be unavailable within the next day or two. Make sure you get on that list, man. We would love to see you in Orlando. Have something special for you, a whole bunch of other things planned. Make this a very memorable and enjoyable experience, man. Don't delay. And you share it with your loved ones and friends, people who are directly impacted that you ask them, yo, what's up, dude? You going to FRC convening? And if he say no, you're like, man, what's wrong with you, man? Don't you know that's the spot to be? Right?
That's right.
Be there.
Come on. In the last 10 years, did you collect a petition? Did you come to an event? Has FRC touched your life, been a part of your life? You want to sign up.
Yep.
Trust us. This is going to be a blowout. You want to be here in Orlando for this convening.
Yep. Can you vote because of FRC passed Amendment 4? Have you had your fines and fees paid? Do you want your fines and fees to be paid?
Sign up.
These are opportunities that we have. We're going to be doing the fines and fees panel, really educating people on the process, right? And as a matter of fact, I promise you, Neil, I heard, matter of fact, I can't even tell a secret. But listen, if you have some issues as it relates to being eligible to be able to register to vote, right? Find a way, sign up for the convening, show up.
Yeah, that's real right there. That's
for real. Yeah. Right? Come hang out with your family for a couple of days. Good things might just happen.
Because what you're saying, it gets to the heart of it too. It's like, you're a returning citizen. You've been impacted by the system. And this convening's for you.
It's yours. There ain't no other convening out there.
This convening's for you.
There is no other convening out there that is put together, explicitly designed for, right, and centered around people who've been impacted by the justice system. There's no other convening out there right now. Not no statewide convening.
Right. You can find somebody might have a panel.
There might be
a conversation.
But not no big time statewide convening. No.
Geared around.
This is it. In Florida, FRRC in Orlando, Florida. You gotta come.
Be there or be square.
Yeah.
Do people
and
still
the
say
information? Yeah. Well, you do, because you from Ohio State, man. You Ohio State Buckeye fan.
That's right.
You know,
We're a little
I
square.
wouldn't expect anything less from you.
Well, awesome, Desmond.
Right.
It's been
Well,
good,
listen,
man.
it has, man. Listen, y'all, I can't say it enough, man. Thank you so much for watching our podcast. Just know, man, that this is a special episode for you because we want you to show up, right, in Orlando, right? What's the dates on that?
26th through the 28th.
26th, 27th, 28th of August. 26th, 27th, 28th of August. And for our big party, we know we got DJ Nasty, the world famous DJ Nasty. We the best, right? And Super Cindy hosting and DJing at our 10-year anniversary celebration on Saturday, August 28th, right? But you have to have a ticket. You can't attend the party unless you have a ticket. And the only way you can get a ticket is you sign up for the convening.
That's right.
That's the only way. Sorry. And so please make sure that y'all do that. Click that link below, or you can go to our Facebook page. You can also go to our website, www.floridarrc.com. FloridaRRC.com. That RR stand for We Really Ready, right? We really ready for the convening. RRC. Sign up, y'all.
We really ready. Sign up.
Notarized restoration.